Well, you knew eventually it was going to happen. Two things. Some sun actually shining in Ohio, even though it's still a cool day in the middle of May. Go figure that out, or second week of May. And that because of electric bikes, we need a way to carry them. I've done reviews from this company, it's CRAVOT, and they've had different levels of bike racks. They just keep on reinventing what they've already accomplished with their offerings in the past. Used to be that they had one that was just a rack you lifted your bikes up onto. Then there was ones that had ramps on them, and they would do all kinds of crazy stuff to get the bike on it. This has got to be the easiest one. This has got to be the best one, because I've never seen one that is so easy to wire. Yep, I said wire, and so easy to load your bikes. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box. I'm going to show you what the packaging looks like, but then I'm going to assemble it. I don't know how much assembly is involved. If I see anything out of the ordinary, I'll point that out. But yeah, let's get into this.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Just what I expected. Really good packaging. I like that they don't use styrofoam. I can get rid of cardboard so much easier than I can styrofoam. But it looks very, very well put together. And I would assume that there's obviously assembly that's going to be required to this, because here's the tracks that the bike sets in. There's quite a few other boxes in here. Let's see, what's this here? This is some more parts for the bike to be cradled as far as the tire's concerned. Try to get that out. There we go. Yeah, this is kind of like a tire cradle. We got a lot of spacers in here. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. You know why? Because they include this manual. Tells you how to put it together. So yeah, I can't wait to get this going. I can't wait to see what this thing does. You guys excited? I have. I'll tell you why. And I'm going to share this with you right away. I wanted to save this for a little later, but I want to share this with you right away. I have a scooter lift, you know, for mobility scooters or wheelchairs, whatever you may have. And it hooks to the receiver of a vehicle, just like this is going to hook to the receiver of this truck. The thing is for that scooter lift to get power, I just run an external battery box, you know, a little jumper pack, because I really didn't have a place to tie into without doing wiring and finding wiring. That's not the case with this one. Here's the big secret. Look at that. It's just a regular 7-pin trailer harness. That's all you need. How cool is that? Okay, that's the big secret. Let me get this put together for you, and we'll come back and see this thing in action. Here it is. It's all on here. And in the instructions, it says to put the shaft into the receiver and start building it at that point. But I didn't. I assembled it on the tailgate to make it easier, but then putting it into the receiver, it was tough. I found actually it was best to just pick it up with one hand and slide it in. Just get kind of close like this, reach like this, and then slide it in that way instead of trying to, you know, do one of these numbers. It's heavy. Now, it has a locking bolt that you put through, and the shank of the bike rack is it's threaded. So you can tighten that to help with anti-movement. I'm telling you, this thing doesn't move hardly at all. Considering how heavy this is not a lot of movement. Everything in the instructions, follow it, especially the torque settings for these. You don't want to over torque these things. Just kind of get them tight so they, you know, and they say check them periodically. But you can see this is the way it looks all assembled. And I'm going to tell you that I have one caveat that I didn't even think about. And that's why you see a battery pack up here. My 7-pin connector will not work because my truck has a tow package that has like the Pro backup assist and has a trailer sway built into it that uses the trailer's brakes to help in the ABS, and it also has, of course, backup cameras. It also has a brake controller inside, Whenever you plug in an RV or a trailer, it has the sense that there's something back there. There's something with brakes, there's something with lights, all of that, before it decides it's going to send 12-volt accessory power back to what they call the number 4 pin. And that's in the instructions on this, on the hitch. It was shown there and it said, test it. Well, I kept on testing it. Now I know, I think you could see in the background, we have an RV. And I've towed this RV with this truck. We had an RV before this RV, and I towed that RV with this truck. And all I did was plug in the connector. I set up a trailer inside because you can set it up for, different weights, different brake pressures, all that stuff. And regardless, it worked perfect on both trailers. Yeah, whenever I plug this thing in, it doesn't say trailer connected. And since there's no trailer connected, there's no load sensed, then it won't send back 12-volt power to power the jack. Now, check your vehicle. This might just be a thing with not just Fords, but maybe Fords with these tow packages. I don't know. But nonetheless, there's nothing wrong with the jack. Let's just ignore that, pretend it's plugged into the truck, your vehicle, that has a normal 7-pin, and not so much this one. So here we go. There's a couple of features on this one. This is in the up position, as you can tell. It is about knee high for me. Let me see what kind of inches we're talking there, because I'm sure you guys want to know those dimensions more than anything else. Now, this is an F-150. It's a 2018, and it is just a two-wheel drive. There's nothing special about it. So we're talking about 16 inches from the bottom. I would think that if you have a car that is a little bit lower than this, you'd have to watch if you're going out aprons of like gas station stuff like that. But my hitch isn't very high at all. With this load on here, the top of my hitch is only about 17 inches. So if you have an SUV, I guarantee it's taller than this. SUV bumpers seem to set up really high. And again, check to make sure that yours has power in that number 4 position. Basically, it's the accessory position. But this is in its up position. And when I say up, I mean up in the air, ready to transport to go down the road. How far does it come back? Well, off of the hitch, it comes back 38 inches. So I'm 38 inches out. As far as it being away from the truck, the first set of tracks where the bike's mounted is 18 inches. Yeah, and then of course my tailgate, we're only talking from the hitch where it mounts into about 7 inches. So if I drew a straight line to match the plane of the shank down below, or the receiver, it's about 7 inches till you come to this. I don't know if your SUV has any kind of a bubble back or anything like that. Now, as far as transporting though, I'm talking about transporting a bike. If you're wanting this to drive around, you don't want this hanging out. Matter of fact, when you get to the bike route or wherever it is that you're going to be riding your bikes, you want this out of the way, because somebody will come through the parking lot and hit it, not paying attention. That's why they have a quick release, and that's it. It's up out of the way now. It's only a few feet. I'll say that this 2 feet out, much better. And you see how easy that was. That's not bad at all. You just flip this lever and it's a big release. And to put it back down, the same. Now, as far as what we've got this for. Now you're going to see that this isn't a speed demon, by no means. Even if I didn't have this battery pack and I had the full brunt of what the truck's battery could supply, these aren't made to go very fast. These are made to just do the job and lift the weight. But look how nice this is. I mean, there's no ramps, there's no crazy stuff like that. You're just going to put this thing to the ground and then roll your bikes up on there. You might have to make them do a little wheelie. There we go. So it might have to do a little wheelie, but other than that, it's ready to go. So we'll go ahead and put these up. Now, the nice thing about these clamps, you can see they rotate So you can actually connect them to a seat post or a crossbar, whatever. And these go up and down accordingly to whatever you need. One faces the rear and the other one faces the front for obvious reasons. Now, the other thing you want to do before you go ahead and pull these straps, because the straps are going to be going through the tires, so they don't need to be in the way. Get these out of the way. They also swivel down, so you don't have to deal with that. And these are adjustable for the length. This is a wheel chalk that will adjust for whatever your bike is. These go to the inside of the back wheel. Okay? Inside of the back wheel. So we'll put the front wheels in these cradles, and they will handle skinny tires as well as fat tires. Don't be concerned about that. Now, don't be shocked, because we're going to have some big bikes coming at you here. And these things are beast. Like I said, I'm putting this to the test. Now, the good news is I can remove the batteries to lower the weight on this if I wanted to. It's best you put the arms down first. Up and over. Oh my God, I'm not lifting it. I mean, I'm lifting a little, but so much easier. Boom. Okay. I've got that one in there. We want the pedal to be out of the way. We'll go ahead and put it here. Let's see if that's out of the way. And like I said, I've got a lot of mounting options as far as the bar is concerned, based on the height that this can be set at. Like I said, this is like the test. This is a huge test of this thing. They have real nice rubber pads to protect the bike frame that are built into every one of these straps. Just so you know, it's like a soft rubber. All right, so that one's pretty darn good. We'll go ahead and snug it down. And then this back wheel chalk, we'll slide it up against there and then lower it. I'll strap those down once they're up in the air, making it easy on myself. No sense in doing it the other way, right? So now we have another big bike coming. Yeah, I don't even know. Wow. This is going to be interesting to see if it's going to make it or not. I told you I was going to put this thing to the test, right? Look at this beast. Oh my word. So that one's on there too. What do you guys think so far? So I'm finding that you need to slide these arms on after you get the bike in place. So now the uprights have got the bikes from moving in and out so much. They're going to move a little, obviously. All right. So that's pretty darn tight there. We're going to lift this thing up, and then again, this is the test, because these bikes are right at the maximum. Again, if I wanted to reduce the weight a little bit, and you can do this with your bikes too, I've got 2 batteries on this one. I could take the 2 batteries off. That would reduce the weight by 30 pounds. These batteries are heavy. Same with that one there. But let's see what we can do here. It's a working. Now, there is a thermal limit switch on this. If there's some sort of a problem, it will limit based on overheat. You know, if there's an overheating with the motor. So far, so good, though. Now, I did want to say also, one feature I didn't show you is that this will tilt away. If you need to lift the hatch of your SUV, this will tilt down quite a ways. We're almost there. We're there. We are there. Okay, now I can put on the rest of the straps for the hold down for the wheels. Very nice. And this wheel chock needs adjusted for this wheel. We'll go ahead and move it back here. Flip that down. Again, there's rubber protectors for your rims so you don't damage anything. They give you enough working room in between them so you can reach everything. It's not a real tight fit. Perfect. Okay, so what do you guys think? Is that cool or what? Can you believe that big, both those beasts fit up on there? That is incredible. Now, you're going to have movement regardless, but that is incredible. That is a lot of bikes up there, guys. That's a lot. Now, as far as you like going down trails or jumping around or something like that, no, you're not going to be jumping through, you know, over ramps and all that. That's not how that works. So there's going to be a link down in the description for this. If you guys are interested, please click the link in the description. It'll take you to the rack. I think that if you have power in that 7-pin, this is a no-brainer. So a lot of you might be saying, well, why would I need such a big bike rack? You know, health-wise, to stay healthy, you shouldn't be riding a bike if you can't load it up. And there's a lot of people got knee and hip issues that they can't ride a normal bike, but they can ride an electric bike, and that motion of movement helps them quite a bit. So the fact that they have to have a lift that will get their bikes to where they need to go, I mean, come on. And I have a pickup truck. I could put them in the back of the truck, but there's a lot of people that have SUVs or vans and they can't. And again, this will tilt. There's a certain degree that it will tilt away. You'll have to check in their descriptions and their verbiage. Again, the link will be down in the description to see if that is a close enough angle for you to be able to lift your hatchback out of the way to tilt everything. But you can't do it with the bikes on there. But yeah, as far as the movement on here, not bad. And I like this. This is really cool. This is definitely one of those things that I didn't expect for a company to come out with, and I'm glad that they did. And as always, guys, we hope to see you out there. Bye.